All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We're going to be doing a little bit of work this morning before the market opens. There's your legal warning. By the way, do not follow any of my trades because I am on a 30-second delay on YouTube. So by the time you hear me call the trade out, I will have already been in it. So let's get to what we got to do today. Today we are trading our Top One futures accounts. Link down below if you want to go check out Top One. Fantastic company, always paying their traders out quickly. And right now, you can get an Ignite instant funded account 50K for $169 all in. No extra fees. You are funded for $169 on a 50K account, and you can start making money. Link down below. Go grab you some. I got a couple myself. And that's what we're going to be working with. Also have my Tradeify account. They're all funded accounts. I have 5 funded accounts at the moment, and we'll be trading as many of them as we can today if we get the setup we want. So we're going to go to Edgeful here. And if you don't know Edgeful, man, talk about a tag team combo with your prop firm accounts and Edgeful put together. You just can't miss. Also, link down below for Edgeful. You're going to see it in action this morning and why I use it, how I use it. Not the entire thing, but if you do want to check it out, you can go to my playlist, and there's a playlist in there that let me just show you so you have a better chance of finding it. Okay. So in my channel, if you go to playlist, we have one that says how to become a profitable trader. And there are 4 videos in there right now on how to build a profitable trade plan. And you'll see Edgeful at work from beginning to end. But this morning, I need one specific thing out of my reports, and I need it on the initial balance breakout. And I need it by performance. Okay. All right. So what we have is our breakout criteria. This is the maximum. We don't want to use the maximum because the maximum means the farthest it's gone. And it's not always going to get that far, right? So initial balance breakouts by performance average. Okay. So when price breaks the high or the low, okay, of the initial balance, by candle close, this means a candle closes outside of the initial balance, okay? Okay. Okay. All right. So once we break the higher low with a close of the initial balance, this is the average extension we can expect. Okay. So 0.22 to the upside and 0.31 to the downside. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my initial balance indicator here. And extension up, we're looking for 0.22. And extension down, we're looking for 0.31. Okay. And we'll just hit OK on that. And what that does is now on the initial balance, we have these purple lines that can be targets or scale out points. Okay. Now this is just the average. It obviously can go more. It could go less. But that helps. So what you're going to see on my charts, on my initial balances for my targets, we have the average extension. We can expect it to get there, okay? We also have the 0.5 deviation and the 1 deviation, okay? We also have our pivot points on as well. So the red lines above the daily pivot point are resistance, okay? And the white lines below are support, okay? And I may actually change that to all white lines just because they're easier to see. Or actually, I know even better than that. So let's go to our pivot point. And let's go to our style. Oh, don't you tell me. Don't you tell me. Okay, there we go. Pivot points. Black. 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 Now I only go to the third support or resistance. Okay. Because I very rarely see anything go past 3. Okay, we'll save that as default and press OK. All right. So what I need to do now is go back and take out the pivot points in these 4 and these 3. Okay, and these are by session. So these are only calculating based on the New York sessions. Okay. And then we'll come over here, add this to the entire layout. And now we have pivot points in black text all the way across all of our assets. Okay. All right. So obviously, our extension levels for YM are going to be different than the other assets. So here we have ES. So we want to go back to Edgeful and look at ES. Same report. We're looking at 0.19 and 0.35. 0.19 and 0.35. 0.19 and 0.35. Okay, hit OK. Now we have our levels on ES. Okay. Then we need to go to NQ. And I'm just going to do this for all 6 assets that I watch. 0.19. Oh, NQ. Like those are the same numbers. 0.2 and 0.44. Okay. Two and 0.44. Okay. Now the only problem I'm going to have with this, because I can't fit 6 assets on my screen. So the other 2 assets, I'm not going to have the extension levels. I will have the deviation levels and the pivot points, because if I switch this screen to another asset, the indicator levels are going to stay the same. But the asset, changing the asset is going to invalidate the extension levels. Okay. So just have to deal with that one. Gold we already have set, but we'll just double check that the numbers are the same. Because numbers do change. 0.23 to the upside. So 2.3 and 3.4. Yep. 0.23 and 3.4. So you have to check these daily because they do change. This takes calculations from the last 6 months. So every day that goes by, those calculations change. And you want your targets to change as well on the screens. Okay. So, all right. That is everything we need. Okay. Ooh, look at that gold drop. Drop, baby, drop. All right. So we're going to be opening up inside of yesterday's range for gold, it looks like. We're going to be gapping up on NQ and ES and gapping up on YM. Okay. So, yeah, it's not a very big gap to have to fill. So I would expect that these gaps get filled this morning at some point. It will at least come down and touch the range. But I'm not worried about the gap fill. The only thing I'm trading is the initial balance. Okay. So today we are going to stick to our rules. We're not going to take any trades that we shouldn't be taking. Unlike yesterday. And we'll see what the volume looks like today. Being the day before Thanksgiving holiday, I will not be trading Thursday or Friday. So that is that. Let's see. Are these still up? No, they're not. I have that one. Let's see, what was that one? MYM. Okay. Let's get this all set up so you can see these over here. MYM. Shit, I don't even know. MES. Okay. MNQ. And let's do MGC. Okay. We need to pull that one down a bit. Okay. All right. So we're going to have these pulled up. These are just my entry windows on my top one accounts, because all of my charting is done over on TradingView. So you can see that we're going to make window number, well, it may not be window number one on your side, on your view, but on mine, we're going to make this one MYM, ES is next, NQ, and then gold is last. Okay, so they're just backwards on the stream than what I have. Okay, just because that's where I placed them. But this is just my entry windows for my top one futures account, and we're going to change this account to our Ignite, and this has our leaders and a follower. To copy trade, I'm going to make sure that my risk settings are correct here. Yes, they are. Okay. And I'm going to double check that for all of my accounts. Now I have these set up to where once I hit my daily profit or my daily loss limit, it will lock me out. And Project X, you can also lock the risk settings. So if I reach my daily profit target, I can't go back in and change these risk settings during the middle of the day. It is locked out until the end of the session. Okay. So I can't change anything here. All right. So that one's good. Again, I do this just for safety reasons, just to make sure everything is set. Okay. We're good there. And we're good there. Okay. Awesome. So this will be our Ignite accounts. I'm going to do the instant funded here, the instant funded here, and the elite sim funded on this one. Okay. And that risk performance is still the same. So there we have it. Okay. So I can trade all 5 of my top one accounts and my Tradeify funded account as well. So 6 total accounts to be traded. Now, yes, I do have to go and click the buttons, depending on what's setting up, but I can quickly change assets because the top 6 are starred. Yes, okay. And then just go down and hit those. Our NQ trades, let me just make sure of our sizes, or our YM trades I know are 5. Oh, no, didn't want to do that. Just want to look at the templates on YM. Oh, yeah, make sure that is YM. Template YM, why is that? Okay, 50 and 100. Create the limit order. That's going to be 5 units. Okay. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take this off. And I'll go over here and make sure that YM on my top one futures entries is set for 5 micros. Okay. So basically what I'm doing here, make sure I'm on the right screen. Yep. Okay. So I'll just take like a long position tool, pull up, this is ES, so I'll pull up ES. And then I will create a limit order, make sure I'm not risking any more than $125. And that will allow me to put on 2 micros in ES. So what you can't see is I'm going over to my other screen, to my ES entry order box, and making sure that we are set at 2 micros. Okay. And we'll just go down the line for that. Okay. So for NQ, let's pull up the NQ template, create limit order, and we can only put on 1 NQ micro. Okay. So no scaling out here. Okay. So we'll remove that. Move this one. Go over to NQ and have it set for 1. I know what I need to do is I need to, because NQ and ES typically always move together. For me, I don't see the point. Now, there was a difference in ES and NQ yesterday. ES pulled back to the 25% initial balance where I want to take my trade from. NQ did not. So it's possible for both of them to act differently in that manner. Because I would really like to have CL up. And I'm not sure which one I want to trade more, CL or gold. But for now, let's look at our gold template. Okay. All right. And limit order. Again, see on gold I can only put on 1 micro. Why is that? No, I should be able to put on 2. Okay. 2 is going to put us at 124. Okay. All right, so we'll put on 2 on gold. Why is my fair value gaps not printing here? I have them down here. Oh, it's just not printing fair value gaps until the session starts. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that is session based. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is session based. All right. So if we did all sessions, there's the gaps. Okay. All right. We got you. We got you. We're going to go and change that because we want to see all of the gaps. even in the overnight sessions, because they can play a part in this. Okay. Yeah, because that could definitely make a difference. Okay. Oh. All right. So we are completely set and ready to rock and roll. All right. So our setup for the day is waiting for the initial balance to be created, looking for the first break, and then waiting for the pullback to the 25%. Oof. Sorry for the yawning. It's been a long morning already. Oh. All right. Now, you guys are going to be watching the TradingView charts. If I do pop in trades into the other ones, we'll keep an eye on those as well. Okay, so I can switch you over. I'm pretty sure. Yep. Okay. I can switch you over and watch the P&L runs on those. You just won't see the charts on the top ones because it'll be pretty close to the same. I do have bracket orders set for those. So as soon as I click the buy or sell button, my bracket orders are automatically placed. Okay, so all of these orders on top one, I'm don't see myself adding to any positions there. Those are going to be win or lose. The Tradeify, I may add to the position. I might add to the position in the top ones. I just have to just watch them. Be careful when I add, because I don't have the charts up, so I can't move the stop loss up if I add to a trade. I'm just going to have to be really aware of that. Let's see. I might be able to. I might be able to do that. Let's see. Okay. See what that looks like. Yeah, I can do that. All right. So this is basically what it'll look like. I won't see very much, and that's okay, because really all I need to see is the current candle so that I can move bracket orders. Okay. So we'll just go ahead and do that on all. Assets. Pull it up again. Okay. And the market is open. All right, all right, all right. So let's kick in. Kick. To get Zach up here. Good morning, Niesel. Just got my channel pulled up so I can see the chat, so. So we don't have anything to do for the first hour. Uh, so we're just going to sit and watch. I've also changed all my charts to the 5-minute time frame. My apologies for the landscapers. But I have moved my charts to the 5-minute charts because I'm looking for the first hour, and I'm not looking. I'm looking to take trades at specific levels, regardless of the time frame or the structure. I am literally just basing my trades off of the statistics, and we'll see what happens. Well, I am just jamming to the upside. I hope you caught a good one there, Easel. Nice, nice. Yeah. I imagine that daily gap was created by one of those flushes we had. We'll see. We'll see what they do with it. What's the midline of that daily fair value gap? Yeah, I've gotten to pretty much the same way. I'm not worried about where the gaps are, this, that, and the other. If my setup comes, I'm going to take it regardless. 47, 434. Cool. All right. So we've pushed up a little above it a little bit. Let's see what price does up here. All right. Just say my New York VWAPs. The yellow VWAPs are previous day, and I guess I don't have those set on the other assets, which I'm not too worried about. I do like to have them on there, but I'll just turn these New York VWAPs into previous days on come next Monday. I do have previous days. Nice. Good deal. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, good deal. I like moving to break even. We didn't quite get up to the pivot point, which was at 482. Maybe we come back to VWAP, then bounce up to get up to that pivot point. Like that keeps you in the trade. Okay. Good decision then. Good decision. No, nothing wrong at all, man. I've had kind of the same mindset after yesterday. You know, I do need to move to break even a little bit sooner, because the trades I'm looking for, you know, when I take my trades, I'm looking for them to go. I'm not looking for them to bounce around very much. And if they can't hold those levels, then you know, there's no reason to lose money. like you said, if it comes back into that fair value gap that you entered on, and you get a bullish engulfing, then you can just jump right back in the trade. So, yeah, especially, if because we came pretty close to this pivot point up here at 482. We didn't quite get there, but when you get close to those levels where it could possibly turn around on you, absolutely go and break even is the best option there. We got up to 465, about 20 points away from that pivot point. So, yeah. On YM, 20 points can happen pretty quick, especially right off the open. So, yeah. I agree. I think you're good. So now we're back in the first 5-minute presented fair value gap on the day. It looks like we hit the midpoint there. So if we look at that fair value gap and measure that out, yeah, we tapped the midline of the first presented 5-minute fair value gap on the open. We'll see if it inverts it or if it holds it. That's basically the 5-minute 9. SMA as well is sitting at the midline there. You may get a re-entry. We are below New York VWAP, but we'll see if it holds that. We did come down and close the gap up. So from New York session to New York session, we had a small gap. And as soon as we opened, that first 5-minute candle came down and tapped previous session high and then took off from there. So a little bit of a bullish indication there. Yeah. Mm. Seriously, Top Step's not entering trades at all? That's screwed up. Yeah, they got to get that shit fixed, man. Yeah. I mean, I do love the fact that they went to a no activation fee plan. Uh, so you can get 50K accounts if you pass them for shit. It sucks. I got to be careful then because all my top ones are on Project X as well. I don't know if it's just Top Step or if it's Project X. Fuck. We're down at the 5-minute 21. ES and NQ have both broken to the downside past the 21s. Well, if it's the platform issue, then you just need to, even if you take a max loss, put in a ticket, take a screenshot, and then put in a ticket and let them know that you tried to exit that trade, but it was not letting you do anything. So that's one thing I will say. When it's been a platform issue, they typically make things right. So it's another reason. And I know you probably can't do it on your tablet, but I love screen recording everything. So that way they can see that I tried to click a button and it didn't work or whatever the problem is. It's actually recorded, so I have video evidence. Right. Yeah. Well, hopefully they get it. They'll get it worked out. Uh, Yeah, even Real Deal Zach traders in this community saying Project X is down and they're trading top ones. So it looks like it's platform wide. So if you do take a loss, definitely put in a ticket to get that fixed and get that money back. Yeah, it looks like I'm not going to be trading top one accounts today. I don't want to have to deal with that. Um, I'll trade my Tradeify account because it's on Tradeovate. And maybe when Top Step takes Project X away from everybody else in February, maybe their platform will get a lot more stable because they won't have nearly as many users and won't need the server space. So hopefully that'll fix their problem for everyone that's trading with Top Step. I was even looking at getting a couple of the evals since they have the no activation fee now. You can get the 50Ks for like under $89, which I would love to do. But until their platform gets a little bit more stable, because they're just going down too much. I can see, a few days out of the year here and there, not every platform is going to be perfect all year long. But they're going down too much. So hopefully that'll fix the problem. Uh, well, I've got about 15 minutes until I got to start looking for trades. So I'm going to take a quick break. I will be right back. About 12 more minutes. Yeah. Well, I say at least it's a platform wide. They'll make right what went wrong for you this morning. So and it sucks. Hmm. Three minutes before initial balance is set. Okay, so the 25% level where I normally would take a trade, or wanting to take a trade is 56 points from the initial balance high. So, and we've got a small initial balance on YM. So I may just take the break and have my stop below the 25%. Because I'm looking for probably YM to break out first, or gold. Gold looks like it might be breaking out. Okay. We're going to run back to the 2-minute chart here on everything as we're coming into initial balance. We are coming up to the 200 on gold. We did invert that 5-minute gap. See if we can invert this 5-minute gap.
I'm missing back. Bed. Bed.
Let's see, go lay down. If we invert this 5-minute gap here, I'm probably going to go ahead and enter a long on YM. Looking for the 10:35 end to the up push. Maybe get in a minute or two early if we're looking strong.
Candle 8.
Two minutes to go on the 5-minute candle. Minutes to go, lie down. Minute and a half to go on the 5-minute candle. That's the rebalance. 1 minute to go in the candle. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and enter here. I'm going to pull my stop up below the 25%. One minute left. I'm also entering along on gold. Gold popped above the 2-minute 200. Gold, I'm going to pull my stop up to below the 200 and below the initial balance high. We're reaching for initial balance on YM. I will move to break even on that as well. Actually, I'm going to keep my stop just below the 25 for now. We reach up. I will look to move that stop up. So we broke a pivot point on gold. We broke the initial balance high, and we both pushed above the 200 SMA, which is why I entered just went ahead, entered on the break of initial balance on gold. whole market's pushing up, which is a good sign. We're having a little bit of an issue up here, trying to get up to initial balance high on YM. NQ's reaching initial balance high. ES has a pivot point right at initial balance high. Getting rather extended from the 9 SMAs on NQ and ES. A little extended on YM as well. We've made another fair value gap. I'm going to go ahead and move my stop loss to break even on YM, because we are getting close to the initial balance high. If we do break it and then come back down to the 25, I just don't want to lose any money here. Gold is not pushing up as much as I would have liked, but everything I think is kind of waiting for the SMAs to catch up a little bit here. Yeah, it looks like we might come back and get stopped out here. Yeah. Yep. All right. Stop loss hit on YM. Let's see what gold does here. I'm going to pull this up. Previous session highs up here. Okay. All right, we're back at the 25. I'm gonna go ahead and open my order there for the long. I know we didn't break the IB yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and take this because we fair value gapped through the 25 level, and I'm treating this like a dealing range. So now I would want to see us go and get back up to the initial balance high from here. And the 9 EMA is there where we just touched on YM. I'm still in my long on gold. All right, we held previous session high on gold, so I'm going to go ahead and move my stop up to there. Gold is pushing. We do have a 5-minute bearish fair value gap above us on the gold. Haven't had a color change off the 9 yet on YM. Good deal, good deal. Easel, I just saw that. That'll work. Even if your orders did go through, you lost money, the Top Step would make that right since it's a platform-wide issue, so. But good things they didn't go through. Don't have to deal with getting it fixed. That's a touch of the 15 SMA. Still haven't had a color change. Price did push down a little hard there. Stop is below New York VWAP and the 5-minute 21. We do have a bullish 5-minute gap here that we're in. I'd like to see that hold. Need to get back above the 9 here. Gold is pushing into the fair value gap, so I'm going to go ahead and move my stop above, just above break even here. Enough.
Hush. I don't know what you're barking at, they went out there.
Nothing's looking too strong. I'm going to go ahead and close the YM trade for a smaller loss here. We've broken back below the 25 and haven't had a push up yet. This 5-minute fair value gap is holding. It's been rebalanced. So I can always re-enter the trade here. But right now, I just don't want it to go all the way back to the 50. Gold is still pushing. I just wanted to see a better reaction off that 25% level than we got. Gold's coming back after hitting the 5-minute fair value gap. We do have a bearish 5-minute fair value gap here now. The 50% level is at the inverted gap on YM, so if we just hit the 21, 5-minute 21. Gold still falling back down off of the fair value gap. Looks like we're going to get stopped out in profit on that one. Very small profit. Okay, stopped out on gold. So far we're down $71. Not even a full loss yet. Yeah, gold really snapped up way past VWAP. All the indices are basically back at VWAP at the moment. Since we did reach for initial balance high and we've come back below the DRT ranges, I will take the breaks of the initial balances at this point. Not waiting for another pullback. I'll just go ahead and take the breakouts. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and set some orders. It's my YM. Okay. And we'll set that as a stop limit buy, a buy stop limit. Okay. And we'll knock this in. There's that. We'll go ahead and set those orders. No. Not there. Why are you doing it there? Oh, shit. That's why. Okay. Buy stop. Okay. We didn't enter that. Good deal. All right. There we go. Order set on YM. We'll go ahead and set our order on in ES as well. Template, ES, create limit order, buy stop limit, risking 125. Okay, that order is set. And I will go ahead and set in queue as well. Stop limit. Okay. We've come back to initial balance high, staying above previous. We're back above the 9 on gold. We'll want to see a close above gold. And I will take another trade on gold. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get long on gold again. We held initial balance high. We held the fair value gap. We've held the 200. We're back above the 9. Held previous sessions high. I will bring my stop up on that, so I'm not taking a full loss. Those levels held. I want them to stay held. So I don't need to take a full loss if they don't hold. Coming into the London close. Maybe we just don't have the volume. That push down on gold was also a manipulation to the bottom side of the range. We had top side, bottom side. Like to see it go back up now.
Okay.
If we do get entered on these trades, I will be pulling my stop up to break even pretty quick because we've already pulled back to the 25% before breaking. I would expect the IB high to actually hold as support at that point. So I will be pulling my stops up pretty quick. We are going to be hitting a pivot point pretty quick out of YM. Looks like we're about to get tagged into this trade on YM. Okay, gold is back at that. I'm going to pull my stop up a little bit further, stay below the 21 on gold. We're tagged into YM. I'm going to pull my stop up below this 2 minute, or just to the bottom of this 2 minute fair value gap. I'd like to see some strength through this pivot point. We're tagged into ES. I'm pulling my stop up to at least the 25% level. We do have a fair value gap that broke through the range there on ES. So I'm pulling up to the bottom of the second candle of that fair value gap. Same thing I did with YM. If we get a retest of IB high that holds, I'll move my stop up to IB high. We did create a 5 minute fair value gap there, breaking through. So I'll keep my stop at the bottom of that 5 minute fair value gap on ES and YM. I would like to see this kind of form a double fair value gap on the 5 minute. Right, so propulsion gap. 2 5 minute fair value gaps in a row. Ooh, gold is coming back down. Come on, gold. Gold hit the midline of that bearish fair value gap and is pulled back. My stop is below the 21. Would like to see a 21 hold here and go back up and crack that 5 minute fair value gap. Invert it on gold would be nice. We did hit 44,200 though, big round number. So maybe a little tough on that one. Holding the 15 so far on gold. The 9 flattened out really hard on that though. Not really liking that. There's a retest of the IB high on ES. We still haven't been tagged in on NQ yet. NQ seems to be the lagger at the moment. We've got our target profit at the average extension of YM, which is right around 566. Okay. We're going to pull ES down to just below the extension, which is at 837. We're tagged into YM. We've made a 5 minute fair value gap. I'm going to pull my stop up below that 5 minute fair value gap. Okay. That gap might not be formed quite yet, but it is showing that it will be formed if NQ stays above it. Gold came down to the 21. We'd really like to see a bounce off the 21 here on gold. And we're going to pull our target on E and Q down just below the extension. The extension level on MQ is 332. All right, so all of our trades are set at the moment. All we want to do from here is pull stops up if we can, but not looking to do so right now. We pulled them all up, less than max loss on each trade. You can see the profit and loss number at the bottom right of my screen. Zach is about to give away some accounts.
Go lay down.
YM's having a bit of a problem holding up here. We've created another 5-minute fair value gap, so I'm going to move on ES. I'm going to move up to above break even. I'm going to move up on NQ. ES or YM, I have not been able to move my stop up at all here. ES is going to go pretty much break even because that's where the 9 is. 9 SMA is. Same with NQ. There's a color change off the 9 on YM. We came into the 5-minute fair value gap. All right, I'm moving my stop up really close to break even. Still in the negative just a little bit. Gold is still holding the 21.
What you looking for?
Okay, I can move up on ES a little bit to the bottom of this fair value gap. I can move my stop up below that color change on YM, so I'm now above on that one. NQ and gold still have my stop at a loss. Yeah, that's a color change off the 9, so I can move my stop up into profit on NQ. So 3 out of the 4 are now zero risk trades. Even if they stop me out, I won't win a whole lot, but at least we're not going to lose on those. Gold needs to get back above the 9 and hold it. We're in a very narrow state on the 9, the 15, and the 21 on gold. Did close below it there for a moment, so I'm going to move my stop up on gold, just because don't really like the way it's acting. There we go. There's a nice little pop on gold. Go on gold. Go gold. Come on, gold. Hold it and get up there. Zach's about to drop the form on his giveaways. Alright, I'm pulling my stop up on gold even more. If this is going to come back down, I'm just gonna let it happen. Don't like the way the other ones are looking. That was a hell of a wick on the 2-minute on YM. Back to the 9 SMA on all the indices. Need to see gold close above the 9 here and get a continuation up. All right, the form is up on Zax. Yeah, it looks like gold's going to come back. Take us out here. It's just not wanting to pop off the 21 here. You know what? I'm going to close gold in profit. Just don't like the way gold's just not popping up. It might, but I just don't like it. It spent too much time in consolidation here. Moving my stop up on ES. Moving my stop up on NQ. Moving my stop up on YM. Yeah, there goes gold, but it hits that fair value gap and just pops right back down. ES is close enough. I'm going to take that trade off at $100 profit. Okay, I do believe ES would have actually hit profit target there. I'm okay taking that off. This will be a profit only day. Just depends on if we actually hit our other targets first. NQ's getting close. NQ's close enough. I'm going to take that off. All right. Thank you. Mama just brought me bologna and egg sandwiches. That's awesome. All right, ES hit the average extension. NQ also just hit the average extension. I took those off just a little bit short of take profit target, but I'll do that quite often, especially since, you know, we haven't had any really strong moves, it doesn't look like. I would really like to see, you know, I would have liked to have seen us got to those target profits a little bit faster. Let's just put it that way. But this could just be a grind higher the day before holiday, right? Not a real fast move, but going there. Yeah, see, I'm glad I took the gold off while it was just barely in profit. I don't like the way gold's acting at all up here at the 4,200 level. So we broke the 47.5 level. I'm going to bring my stop up for us to hold that 47.5. just to add in a little bit more profit if we do come back. All right, I'm going to run my stop really tight here on YM because we are coming up to target profit and the average extension. All right, stopped out for profit on YM. Perfectly happy with that. We are up $259 on the day. Not bad. If YM had actually gone up to target, maybe it would be, 300 or a little over 300 on the day. But I'm perfectly happy with that. I was patient. I did take a couple of trades before we broke the initial balance, just based on my ICT rules. That didn't work out all that bad. We cut one loss really quickly. We cut one trade really quickly when we did in a loss when we didn't think it was going to do what we wanted it to do. We cut gold trade pretty quickly when it wasn't doing what we wanted to do. So, and then we stayed patient, getting to our take profits. Maybe I did push a little bit too hard on the stop loss on YM there. Looks like we might hit the 9 again and then bounce and go up to the average extension. ES and NQ are having trouble getting above their average extensions right now, but they may very well do that too. So, but I'm okay with pushing my stop pretty tight on YM after both NQ and ES have hit their extensions. And again, that's the average extension. So if NQ and ES decide to fall over here and YM follows, then I wanted my stop to be up there. But all in all, not a bad day. Wish I could have traded all of this on my top 1 accounts as well. But with the issues that Top Project X was having, we just couldn't take that chance, right? So, appreciate it, Easel. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is what I need to be doing every day. So I'm happy with that. Yeah. And I didn't even look, but Zach actually put a stat that's out on I think it's on Edgeful. There's a holiday trading report, and for like the last 5 years, I think he said Thanksgiving always ended up for the day. So that kind of helped as well. I got to look at that. I think there are event stats like CPI numbers, FOMC numbers, holiday tradings, stuff like that. So I'll look into that on Edgeful as well. Edgeful stats are freaking fantastic. Yeah. All right, duck races are about to start. Did say he was going to run more than one race today, so we'll switch on over to that screen so y'all can watch. Oh, okay. I'll take middle of the pack. I don't want to be up front right away. Oh, it's going to put me up front. See, there we go. Already pulling back. I got the crown on. Come on. Give the race to the crown. Easel, you're falling right back with me. What up? What the hell was that? You got out there too early, and then you blocked me. What the hell, dude? Oh, Easel, you're coming back, dude. You're coming back. I don't see my crown. I don't think I'm coming back. Come on, Easel. Give that man a top one account. Come on, Easel. No, Easel, don't fall back. Your purple duck is just confused. Come on, Easel. I just got up there too fast, man. You used up all your juice. I don't see the crown coming back up either. I see my crown, but he ain't moving forward. Nope. Oh, man. Come on. He's also going to be giving away on Friday, so even though I'm not trading, I'll probably still sign in and watch Zach. But he says it could be super early in the stream or something like that because he's probably not going to trade. He's just coming on to give away accounts. So watch his channel and make sure you're on when he gets on. Hey, nah, a win's a win, man. Green Day is a green day. I'll take a break-even day all the time if I. Especially when your platform craps out. All right, come on, Easel. We'll work together in this race. We can get up there. Come on, where are we at? Where are we at? Well, it's okay. Like last minute, we want to be in the frame. Well, this is a strange race. I didn't even see us on this one. Where are we at? Come on. Oh, I got the crown again. Easel, is that you beside me? Purple duck. Don't you knock me back? Oh, that sucks. Get up there, Easel. Get up there. Go, Easel. No. Damn. All right. This is number 4. He wasn't kidding. Go lay down, baby. Don't even see us up there. Come on. Where we at? 1 minute to go. I just run them in 2 groups. That's probably why. Wow, everything just took off on the charts. I ain't mad at it. I made my money. All right. Well, that's the end of his stream. And I've made my money. Easel's made his money. Everybody's made money. So I am going to shut this down. Yeah, absolutely. If you're not already gone, we'll see you Friday. So we are going to be cutting off the stream here, everybody. It was a good morning. We did what we needed to do. We got the price action we wanted to get. And we made our money. That's all we can ask for, right? So we got into a trade on all the assets. Gold didn't quite work out for us. We could have closed it. Probably should have closed it the first time we got up close to there, or just held our stop loss, because we did actually reach the average excursion. We've reached the average excursion in all of the assets. So maybe next time, just be a little bit more patient. Trust our stop losses. Don't move them up too fast. Don't exit the trades. Being the day before a holiday makes me a little bit skittish. Not sure what the volume looks like. Something just slams back down quickly. If it wasn't day before a holiday, maybe I would have held on a little bit longer for everything and picked up a little bit more profit on the day. But I am absolutely happy with what we've got. And we are going to have ourselves a great Thanksgiving. I hope everybody out there does the same. Don't argue with your family on Thanksgiving. It's a day to enjoy each other's company and have fun. And we're going to do just that. So until next time, everybody, stay blessed.